Yes, Global Championship game number 1 starts right now. There is the bus. Now we get to jump off and really take to the world and see who will be able to put up all of the numbers that they are claiming that they are worth. Let's watch it. We get to start things off here, of course, with King and Camer.
And keep in mind, we heard a little bit in the pre-game interviews, King, CalGamer, neither side particularly scared of the other. Both playing his best, but Thomas, he's taking the 50-50. It's Kanata, though, who's going to find the first down.
But it's a trade. It's a trade on both sides. Aegis is down as well. Kanata will have to do a big convert here or go. So far, remember, this is going to be arguably the most difficult bracket to fight your way out of. It is, of course, the 50 best that played through their respective times of those seasons throughout this entire year.
But look up, it's Queasy, it's Veno. They get chopped momentarily by Mustache, but it's still not seeming to deter them from maintaining control of this high ground. Mustache now hoping that this legendary Slurp Juice is going to buy him enough time to get out of this difficult position that he's landed into with Jason and Cole. Meanwhile, backside of the zone, trying to charge his way forward, looking to stay as close to Acorn as possible, because as things continue to move, you can expect all these other duos to follow suit. And Alex gonna eat a shot immediately, a Lind.
Meanwhile, High Ground goes for a fight here. Mustache and Tayson trying to take it all away. They take down OCE's power. Alex as well there. Big find for him. But no, they have to conclude. They have to concede it. They give it down. Queasy puts up the fight against Tayson and puts him down as well. No material left for the High Ground team. A very tough spot to be in, but it's all or nothing now. The end game is already theirs. This is surely a successful run already. Re is still up too.
But they just need barely enough builds to actually connect it to the hill over this water where everyone else is trying to deal with it. Reet, though, alongside Ritual, everything in his power here, gets the elimination onto Acorn. It looks as though Queasy may have fallen in the feed as well.
What a big trade here. Just a couple players left now. This is it. Veno solo here, but he does have builds. The clutch is possible. He's also one of the healthiest here on the lobby. Vistroki doesn't have much to work with. He also can't get up and over. It's going to come down to the siphon of whether or not he can get the conclusion, and Veno does. But getting here, finds Vistroki in the finish, and Veno wins the game.
This is starting to look pretty familiar, Monster.
Right, it might be a good game with a couple VR, or a couple eliminations rather, and it might be just enough.
It definitely might. I think for now, these teams that are in this sort of top 5, top 3, realistically, you have to think that they have got it in the bag. But as you mentioned, Z, anything can happen. They've got to keep their foot on the gas, because not only is it really good to, of course, be at the top of the leaderboard, it's also really good practice, really good to be in this environment. What are these other teams from these other regions going to do? Because who knows?
I wanted to highlight a couple things. Really quickly, Miniminder, you kind of called this out for us, and I wanted to take an opportunity to talk about it. Zago and Peppleclip, they had a very...
We heard you make some noise. It sounds like you are ready for game number 3. I am too. Remember, there are only 5 rounds of Fortnite here today, so this will officially solidify the halfway mark. To start things off, though, we have to begin here at the Frenzy Farms. Cammy, Seti versus Datas and Stain. We've seen this go either way. We know that Kylix is nearby as well. Kyrie here, so you got to be careful. Meanwhile, Kit gets the weapon first. He's looking for the tag, and they're doing a great job. They actually have the left and rights here.
Buying just a little bit of time here. Seti also, a couple of weapons at his disposal. Tactical DMR, Infiltrator Pump as well. Stain trying to do his best to pressure to the bottom of this barn. It's going to be Stain actually eliminated first. A nice tag team appearance there from Cammy to get the backup necessary. And that's going to be Stain and Datas eliminated yet again so early on, MDF. And we're already in game 3.
Yeah, this time extremely quick. They secure the eliminations here. Meanwhile, 7th man in CalGamer versus King potentially unfolding here. I do know Kanata is battling as well. It seems like he was taken down and eliminated by a different duo. So we are already seeing a very huge miss-up. Meanwhile, King, he will show you why he is one of the best. Because let's not forget what CalGamer had to say. He said himself that he does not believe King has what it takes. He thinks King is a bit overrated, but I beg to differ. We have seen what he can do in person. We have seen what he can do in just clean head-to-heads in a box fight type environment. He's incredible.
It's literally what King established his name on, was his prowess when it comes to box fight match opportunities. Here again, King looking for his chance to take down Calgamer. Calgamer actually gonna look for a brief retreat here though, at the relentless retreat.
I like it.
Seems as though he wants to try and look for some better weaponry, or possibly even just looking for a different position altogether.
Yeah, upgrade will be important and massive there, especially since he's running out of material there. The shotgun. Meanwhile, Zagu, Peppo, they had the knock, but they didn't get the finish. That's going to be a big mess up. Big mistake, big opportunity lost, but Zagu finds another tag here. Meanwhile, looking for the big opener. Another one there. Okay, chipping away, but nothing significant this time.
That is massive, though, for Skits and Sora, that Skits was actually able to find that revive in the heat of it all. Is now Peppo, Zagu. A few Shieldbreaker EMPs. Curious to see what Zagu actually chooses to do with these. He's gonna opt to try and maybe apply some more pressure onto Skits and Sora with them, or if he's just gonna hold them for the time being. But Skits, now fully aware of the fact that Zagu is trying to break down his wall, continuing to replace build after build. Skits with the peak, Zagu with the damage taken. It's gonna be Skits and Sora still looking to try and capitalize on this circumstance.
Now be careful though, backing themselves up into an indestructible corner. And you can hear the crowd really starting to turn up right now.
Big augment though, that was just picked up. That rarity check could go crazy, depending on how. I believe it was Skits that might have opted for it. Saw him, one of those common weapons. Zagu, back to full shield though, but did have to expend both of those big pots, and this battle's taken quite some time. Business turret quickly taken out. And Zagu tried to place there, his pressure on Skits.
Oh, I think he's going to be feeling really confident after that one, but Zagu now completely out of material here. He does have to be careful. His teammate finds a little bit too, so Peppo goes in, fully boxes up. It's all going to come down to hitting the shots, and he does. Zagu showing us why he is one of the best. Coming directly out of the region of Asia, representing all the way for Japan, and my oh my. Take a look now with Kylie and Bastroki. Man, they're just mixing things up.
Constant trades for the most part, but for Strokey and Kylie here at Stevie Springs, south side of the map seems to be working out relatively well for them so far, having that elimination already, and now that's going to alleviate a decent amount of pressure here for Strokey and Kylie. They don't necessarily need to fully push in just yet. They can really wait to see how they want to actually choose to try and reapproach here, but they're not the only team to mix things up a bit, as now Misha and Teeny just above Bryson Chubbs. And they might be looking for an opportunity to find an elim or two here.
This is pretty interesting because Teeny and Misha definitely have been having a tough time against Baka and Pars, but Bryson Chubbs have been jumping in that battle as well. It has been a three-way engagement here at the Shady Stilts and around. So Teeny and Misha trying to mix it up, saying, all right, what can we do different? How can we adapt here? Clearly, they made it to the upper bracket, right? But having a tough time so far. Might be looking like a Saturday appearance if they can't turn up and turn up soon.
Our battles later on. Clownsky and Grolls, though, a team that we really saw in quite the position last game. It was really their surge strategy that seemed to be a little bit lacking in game number 2. So now the mentality here for Grolls and Clownsky, if they want to escape from that position, because it really looked as if Q&E and Rapid were about to finish off this duo. But with Thomas being out of the picture, Malabuka, granted, we know that he's capable of making those solo clutch circumstances happen, but with so many power hitters left in this lobby as a team, that solo spot not looking the best.
Danyak, Karmi, absolutely scary, scary duo right here. Some of EU's greatest. Very hard-working duo here. Takes the Teeny Cena and Misha just haven't caught a break here. Rotating all the way down from the north side. Coming up short here now. Fragmented apart. NA's best and EU's best, right? Back to back here, two different perspectives, two totally different layers. Acorn and Cold, again, just excellent low ground teams playing to what they play best. And they're doing it well here. Meanwhile, you do, of course, have your other teams fighting for height, so an excellent play to watch unfold here, but we jump with Pars, and end game from Pars here too. No Baka. The least amount of elims we've seen so far, but it is a single one. So far of the three, they put up numbers every time. Now we jump with Muzz and Paper. Turning online right now, 6 eliminations. Could this be their game? One big pop-up will put you up in that top 25, surely.
It's been a relatively quiet day for Muzz and Paper so far, so this could be a massive moment if they're able to seize it. Sitting on the low ground though, Acorn and Cold. They can tell there's players trying to make their way around the edges next to them. 2 crash pads remain here at Acorn's disposal. Cold following closely behind. Cammy and Seti though, they seem to be making an idea all their own.
Oh, this is crazy. From the backside here, they find the tags and Vino's hurt. And this might be the new high ground. Cammy, Seti coming in out of nowhere, and they swing things around. Queasy's hurt. Vino's fully healthy, but no! Things change so quickly. Acorn and Cold finish him. And now Queasy's by himself, but still, excellent endgame for them. They're gonna be happy with a top 10. Meanwhile, Paper and Muzz continue to force their way in here. 8 elims now, probably the most that are alive at the moment. Trailing behind another team, and Paper's gonna fall there.
And unfortunately, Muzz to follow suit. But the materials refresh, it might not do him any good. He's not able to break into the zone in time. Acorn instead will be here to play cutoff, as now Merstash forced underneath it all. Larkpix as well, living as a solo. This is looking like Acorn and Cold's game for the taking.
And Acorn's doing an excellent job pressuring with the breach of shotgun, making sure no one's got a chance to breathe, but Larkpix is still going. He's found 2. That's 11 eliminations for Larkpix and below. But NA takes the game. Acorn and Cold, the trust.
If you are Thomas HD and Malabuka, you have to start thinking about, okay, how do we get back into this, right? I think a lot of them, people saw them as a favorite coming into this competition because they are so good. But things haven't been easy, right? The Canada versus an Agent.
What I was gonna say is a shout out to Cammy and Seti. They had a little bit of a rough start to start the day, but they have shown it just takes one big game to get yourself inside of that top 25. And this being game 4, with only one game left after this, there's only a few spots left for those bubble teams to grab.
And we're looking at a team that definitely needs a good matchup for things to start picking up for them. Podesai, Snazy.
This is your chance to shine. This is your chance to pick up those points. And you kind of saw it at the start of the day. They have 4 eliminations and barely any placement points just left. There's 24th place and 24 teams still left alive, so there's still so many possible points up for grabs.
But the best part is, Threats and Bugha, they're at least still together as we enter this late game, which is something we have not really had a chance to see from this duo all day today. It's been repetitive as far as solo clutch circumstances are concerned, and they just haven't really been able to bring anything to fruition because of that. Pink and Vico, though, under a lot of pressure here from Malabuka and Thomas. So many other teams surrounding them. Sometimes it can be really difficult to tell just which direction your builds are actually getting targeted from.
They survived the off-spawn battle between Acorn and Cold. This is their chance to shine, even though they don't have much to work with. We've seen them do amazing things before. Vico, one of the more aggressively skilled players, and forget on top of the world when it comes to Fortnite. They're going astronomical, building off of the moon towards relentless retreat, trying to hold on to their high ground. They have the rocket ram for backup as well. So if anybody looks up, tries to chop them down, they do have a plan B. Pink getting a couple more eliminations. Thomas, Malabuka bypassing everybody else. They're trying to stage to the front side of the zone, looking back only when they have to. They have their eyes set on the prize for now.
But I wonder if anybody realizes just how far up Cammy and Seti are. Vico, he needed a refresh instead. He'll find himself waiting for game number 5 to begin. As Seti, Cammy, we see Seti up so right now with the rocket route. Who he comes crashing down on is another story to be decided, because Yamzo and Rise, they're under fire right now. Yamzo's gonna drop all the way to the water. Realizes, tries to escape, but not able to. Mixon and Blaha instead, the only ones seemingly able to continue pressing forward in this mid-low ground layer.
4 solos running around this lobby full of duos. Squeezy and Vino again. These guys are impressive, consistently finding a way to go for that high ground. Just a test here, just like in the first game. They're looking to hold on to it, get that victory royale. Another elimination being found by Malabuka. Their total as a team does move up to 5. 12 teams remain. These are the points that they were looking for. They started this game in 23rd place. This game alone, if they come out on top, could qualify them to Championship Sunday, but the fight continues. Golden Acorn just trying to tear everybody down, even if that means it's their NA count.
They're actually going to be able to retake height because Queasy and Veno, they're no longer here. At some point, they winded up falling. Queasy himself potentially eliminated from this match. We're seeing everyone below, Cammy and Seti, just doing what they can to stay alive. But Thomas and Malabuka, they have been on a rampage in these lower layers.
Yep. Cammy gets another one onto Muzz, finding him as a solo. Another player is going to drop. Sphinx and Pollo, who absolutely came out of nowhere on the NA region to claim their spot here in Major 2. But they don't want just the spot. They want to take over. Thomas finds another elimination, taking down Seti. Now the high ground has changed, and they're trying to keep it for themselves. Acorn gets sniped out of the air with the sharp tooth, and now we're into our final 4 teams left alive. But 2 of them are so their hands, but a nice shot's going to be traded off. But it down onto Thomas, and they take the game. NA on top, thanks to Pollo and Sphinx.
What a massive comeback, though, from Pollo and Sphinx. I mean, 12 eliminations, given that they were in such a dire position heading into this match. That is